At year-end 30 June 2015, LIMU Limited prepared the following asset section to reflect the financial position of the company in the financial statements. So it is the asset section that we're talking about in the statement of financial position. Statement of financial position for the year ended 30 July 2015. Assets, property 0. Probably this is only a typing error, it was supposed to stand there. Plant and equipment 50,000 and vehicles 25,000, so in total 75,000. Investments, listed shares 60,000 and savings account 5,000. Trading stock 20,000, stationery on hand 4,500, cash and cash equivalents, petty cash 7,000, overdrawn bank 2,000, so the net amount 5,000. Critically discuss the above-mentioned disclosure in the financial statements of LIMU Limited based on IS 1. Now again, we have to criticize this disclosure, which is fairly easy. The first thing that is missing here is the name of the entity. Now guys, before you start listening to the answer, try to do and identify as many as possible of these things that's not right for yourself, and then you continue and listen to the answer. Good, so the first thing is the name, LIMU Limited. That's missing there. You should have had a separate line item, LIMU Limited, and then the next line item should have been Statement of Financial Position. Since when is the Statement of Financial Position for a year? So it should only be as at 30 July 2015. Then I should have had 2015 Rand, 2014 Rand. So the first thing that's wrong is that there's no indication of which year this figures belong to. Number 2, there's no comparative figures. Number 3, the currency denomination has not been indicated, and obviously the rounding has not been indicated. Then we get to the asset side. Assets. Now, assets we know have to be distinguished between non-current assets and current assets. There's no such distinction. Under non-current assets, we should have disclosed property, plant, and equipment. If an item has a 0 balance, you need not to disclose that. It is only if an item has a balance that that item will appear in the statement of financial position or the statement of profit or loss for that matter. Now, you know that we would have had one line item, property, plant and equipment, with a total on the face of the statement of financial position. You are not allowed to show on the face of the statement of financial position any calculations. So that in brackets there should not have appeared in that line item. You know that for property, plant and equipment, you have to write the IAS 16 note, which explains exactly how it has been compiled, that's 75,000 Rand. Then they have investments. Now investments, there's no such line item. We have under non-current assets, we have financial assets. So investments should have been identified as part of financial assets. Now, under financial assets, we should have shown investments in listed shares, 60,000 Rand. Again, no calculations on the face of the statement of financial position. Savings account. Savings account is not a financial asset. A savings account should be shown as part of cash and cash equivalents. So in other words, our financial investments would have been 60,000 Rand, with a note explaining that. Then we would have had current assets. Under current assets, we will have inventory. In the inventory note, you will make the distinction between trading inventory and stationery on hand. So these two wouldn't have appeared as two separate line items under current assets on the face of the statement of financial position. It should have appeared in the note, the split between the two, and only the total of 24,500 Rand would have been shown under current assets as inventory. Cash and cash equivalents. Petty cash 7,000, overdrawn bank 2,000, which gives us 5,000. Now, under cash and cash equivalents, petty cash must be shown there, but in the note, again, no calculations on the face of the statement of financial position. Petty cash is cash and cash equivalents, but the overdrawn bank, you are not allowed to do offsetting of assets and liabilities. Overdrawn bank balances should be shown under current liabilities as a separate line item. And in my note of cash and cash equivalents, I would mention that I have an overdrawn bank balance of 2,000 Rand. Just by way of a note, I have to also give the reader the information from what bank have I received the overdrawn facility and what is the total of the overdrawn facility as well as the interest rate applicable on the facility. So that is also a problem. Let's quickly check whether we have everything. The heading of the statement should be the statement of financial position as at 30 June 2015. The name of the company should be in the heading. The heading for 2015 should be shown above the numbers. The currency should be shown. The level of rounding should be indicated. Headings for non-current and current assets should be shown. Comparative figures should be shown. If an item is equal to 0, it does not have to appear on the statement. PPE should be one single line item. There should be no calculations on the face of the statement of financial position or any financial statement for that matter. The listed share should be shown under financial assets. The savings account should be shown as part of cash and cash equivalents. Trading stock and stationery on hand should be shown as a one-line item inventory, and the overdrawn bank should be shown as a current liability and not be netted off against cash and cash equivalents. So I think that we have them all. So great stuff.